It's one thing for adults to do drugs. It's a whole other story for my sister and her nice Jewish husband, nice to follow a Jew, to bring a child into that universe. So the spring of 1985, I'd gone out to Idaho Springs, Colorado, to look in on my 3-month-old nephew, Shiah. Remarkably, everything checked out okay, except my sister had a shiner. Told me it was from breaking up a bar fight. Conceivable if you knew my sister. By the way, I'm the runt of the family, just so you know. She bragged that Idaho Springs had the highest per capita unemployment rate in the state of Colorado and the highest per capita number of bars. That explained a lot. They didn't have a phone, and in emergencies, she'd call me, collect from somewhere. They didn't, I said, I'm sorry, this story makes me very nervous. You'll see why shortly. Some months after that visit came the first collect call. She wanted me to know that Larry was going to mine opals off the coast of Australia and would be wiring her $100 a month. The second call came early 1985. Surprise! Larry wasn't in Australia mining opals. He had been in prison for possession and sale of drugs. He was about to be released. She asked me if I would take my nephew for a couple of months while they went to marriage counseling and seeing if they could make things work. I said, okay, but then radio silence. The third collect call came to me at work, September 1986. Shiah was in the hospital, and she'd been charged with child abuse and neglect. Could I please come help her? I was on the plane to Denver the next day, rented a car, and drove to a battered women's shelter that my sister got herself into. This is what I learned. She'd taken Shiah to a clinic in Castlerock, where she was living with a boyfriend. She told the docs at the clinic that Shiah had fallen out of his high chair and wasn't walking. He was 18 months, and he also wasn't talking. The x-rays showed that his injuries were inconsistent with her story, especially the broken bones that were older than 3 months old. So they took him into protective custody and shipped him north to Denver's Children's Hospital. Again, my sister had a huge shiner, but not one medical person asked her, as is widely done today, do you feel safe at home? Also, Larry was getting out of prison any minute, and she was terrified that he'd kill her for having a boyfriend. I quickly screened a dozen lawyers over the phone, initially thinking I needed a lawyer for my sister, until one of those lawyers told me I needed a lawyer for me. I settled on a gal named Pat Main. One condition, she asked. Would I please allow her male partner, Dale Parrish, to go to the hearing, because down there in Castle Rock, it's very redneck, and a woman lawyer would not be in my best interest. The next morning, I picked up Kathy at the shelter, and we drove to Castle Rock for the temporary custody hearing. I want you to picture the Wild West that meets some form of civilization. It's literally a town square. That's all there was. A water tower on legs in the center. One side is the feed and supply store, a grocery store, and a bar. One side is the laundromat, a medical clinic, and a pharmacy. Another side is a gas station and a garage for repairs. The last side does not look like the others. This side has one long brick building that holds the police, the fire department, the water and sewer, the courthouse, and social services. The dirt parking spaces, for a second I thought I didn't have the lapel. The dirt parking spaces are marked by posts to tie up your horse. It was a beautiful sunny day, amazing mountain view, and there were a few random picnic tables in front of the municipal building. Attorney Dale Parrish was waiting for us. Soon, a tall cowboy in pointed boots, tall cowboy hat, jeans, and aviator glasses walked by. That's the judge, my attorney told me. Then, as if on cue, a red, beat-up pickup comes screeching around the dirt road square and skids crooked into a spot near us. I recognize Larry and quickly get up to get a sheriff who's nearby. As I turn around, though, Kathy and Larry are running toward each other with their arms spread out in what looked like a Kodak slow-motion, soft-touch commercial. They hug. The sheriff calls our case. We push through the saloon-style swinging doors into the courtroom. Attorney Dale sits at the table opposite the county social worker. He explains that he's there to represent Kathy's sister, a social worker from Cleveland. Thereafter, every time the judge referred to me, I was the good social worker sister. Try saying that 5 times fast. The judge asked Kathy, who was sitting next to her, "My husband, where was he when all this was happening?" "He was in prison. He just got out." "Well, he's the father. He has responsibility. I'm adding him to these charges." Just then, as if on some Hollywood cue, the saloon doors swing open and in walks Colonel Sanders and his wife. Seriously, white hair, white beard, string tie, cane. The presiding judge speaks to this Colonel Sanders. "Judge Kingsley, what are you doing here today?" "Oh, the wife and I decided to take a ride and visit." "Perfect timing," the presiding judge says. "I need a guardian ad litem for this case." Agreed. A bailiff escorted us to a paneled room, also with saloon doors. Kathy, Larry, and my attorney sat quietly while Judge Kingsley reviewed the file. He turned to my sister. "It looks like you would benefit from a drug and alcohol rehab program. I can get you into the best program in the whole state without any cost to you, so long as you agree to divorce that son of a gun," pointing to Larry. My sister says no. Then Judge Kingsley took his cane and he slammed it on the table, hard. And then he took a breath and calmly repeated his offer. Again, Kathy said no. "Okay then," he said, "I know what I need to do." Back in the courtroom, Judge Kingsley recommended the good social work sister get temporary custody. Now, I already knew that if I was granted temporary custody, it would take at least 6 months for the paperwork. Okay. I did get immediate custody. It was a shock. Shiah and I flew home. I didn't know how long I'd have him. He turned 40. I have a granddaughter. I'm beyond grateful for my sister's eggs. And Larry died of a drug overdose when Shiah was 10. My sister passed away 4 years ago. I know we're a blend of nature nurture, and our genes come from eggs and sperm. What I will never understand is how people in that same household could grow up so differently. When I make the movie of this, the opening scene is going to be the Kodak moment in front of the Castlerock Municipal Building. Thank you very much.